Okay, so a while back I made a video talking about an idea I had for a hidden blade, and I was going to use magnets to keep it up. So instead of having what Ezio has, where it comes up like this and comes out, I made one like this. It's a lot more reliable. Definitely works, and if you can get it to be bonded right here, then this is going to be like a fighting hidden blade, the way he fights in the games, like, you know, yeah. Well, this is not the final design. I'm going to make a blade like this one, out of metal, but I didn't have the metal or the ability to cut it, so this one's just sort of loosely put on there, and I'm using Velcro to keep it down here, so I have to like push it down, but I would not have to do that when I use the blade, or when I use my actual metal blade. And don't worry about this van brace or anything. This is obviously not important at all. It's just something that I made. It's a different project that the hidden blade sort of got wrapped up in because I didn't have any other way to put it on my arm. So basically, I used the outside of... I'll get to that later. This is the older hidden blade that I made. I'll explain it really quick for anybody who doesn't know. Basically, springs pull it down. This thing attaches to your finger. Slide out. Blade attaches here. And the system works. You can make this and use it if you're like a cosplayer or something. It's fine. And but if you want to use it realistically at all, then it's not that good. I mean, it's clunky. It's a lot less comfortable. It's the straps aren't as good, which I guess is kind of my fault. Doesn't really have anything to do with the design. It's just all around not as good. And this one is a lot better. It's easier to pull out. Basically, you just reach down, flip it up, and it's up. Obviously, like I said, this is not fully on there, so it's not. If it falls down or something, it won't do that in reality unless you want it to. And then if you want it to, that's all you got to do. But now you might be thinking that that's a problem, but think about the way Ezio fights in the games. He fights like this. You're taking hits this way and this way for blocking, right? Attack, block. If you use it right and you're smart, you won't ever take hits downwards. So downwards hits is what knocks it down. But Ezio takes hits like this and hits like this, and it maybe hits to the side, which, if you attach it properly the way I'm going to later, it should stay on there forever and not come off. And not break, which is obviously what you want. Magnets at the bottom and here, this is Velcro, but like I said, I'm going to change it when I make the metal blade. Magnet here, they stick. There's magnets underneath this tape, and this is a metal hinge, so they stick. What I used for the magnets, if you're familiar with NeoCubes, a very polarized magnets, very useful. I just took a couple of these, threw them on there. You have to be really careful because it takes a long time. These are glued on, and then I brought tape around it because they try to stick to each other. They're very powerful magnets. There's like pennies in there separating them, so you have to be careful about that. But that's really the only difficulty in making this. This is a lot easier to make than the other version. A lot less cutting involved. I used for the shell here, this outside piece that this is sitting in. I used one of these slides, but I cut mine. Here's a better example. I cut mine already. So if you were going to use this and you went and bought one of these, like you wanted to make one of these and one of these, you could do that still. But cut it to a different length, because this is cut to the length of this thing because it's the top. And this was initially going to be the top of another one of those, but if you plan on making one with this, just make it longer, because you can. This blade, one of its major benefits is that it can be as long as your forearm. Because with that one, the blade can only be as long as the bracer, and it actually has to be a lot shorter, because it has to be able to sit inside the bracer without poking out. And then when it comes out, it's all attached down here to this thing, see? So then when this thing comes up to the top, you're like, this much of your blade has to stay on. So you really only get this much, and it's not much. Which is why this is a lot more useful for fighting, this design, and I guess for assassinations too. It's really all the points I can come up with. So let me know if you have any feedback.